This week on Kentucky Afield. Spring squirrel season is just around the corner, so we'll get you ready with an excited pup and a fun hunt.
I want a squirrel up a tree right there right now.
Next, Kentucky has a new state record archery turkey.
I saw this turkey was a little bigger than the front one, so I shot it.
We'll hear the story and take a closer look at this magnificent bird. Then we'll show you a great fishing technique that you might want to give a try this spring. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Yeah, we got one. Sweet.
Got a muskrat?
Yeah.
Good job.
What do you know about that, man? That's a good fish, man.
Nice male smallmouth, healthy, pretty colors.
Cody, here. Find us one more good pheasant, Cody.
As biologists, we catch ducks and we place bands on them.
And it's just a really excellent place to see cottonmouths. What do you think?
That was pretty fun.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Being in the woods with a good hunting dog is one of my favorite things to do. But when you have a squirrel dog, you can tell they were born to hunt. Well, I'm glad to be in Hart County today. Darrell, you and I are getting ready to go hunting with your dog. How did you and I get in contact?
Well, you had a call-in show one night, and I just grabbed the phone and called in and said, how would you like to do a squirrel hunting show?
Well, it just so happened when you called, we were looking for someone that had a good squirrel dog. And I was like, wait a minute, you got a good squirrel dog in Hart County, let's make this work. So here we are, 6 months later. Willie's ready to go, we're ready to go, and hopefully we'll get some squirrels today.
That's what the plan is.
All right, well, I think we'll turn him loose and see what happens.
Yeah, he's a tree.
Let's go take a look and see what he's got.
I'd say he's in that nest.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right.
I've had him going nest, had him going hole.
That's a good thing about squirrel hunting. You never have to worry about taking them all, even with the dog.
No. I see he's right around that way. We got another place we'll go to.
All right.
There he is.
He moved right around the edge there. You got a shot right there?
Yep.
There you go, that's perfect. Nice little gray squirrel. Perfect for the pot.
He'd go with biscuit and gravy.
And I tell you what, if seeing a dog that excited doesn't get you excited about squirrel hunting, it gets me excited just watching him jump from spot to spot and looking up. He's so excited.
He loves it. I have come in from work in the evening, he'd be barking, and I'll look out there, and there'll be a fox squirrel looking over the eave of the barn at him.
Here he's at.
And he'll wear him out.
Say, get your rifle. Go get your rifle.
Willie, come on. I got another patch of wood that's bigger than this one over by the house. There's always squirrel there.
Okay.
Take yours.
We've moved just a mile or two down the road. See how long it takes him here.
I want a squirrel up a tree right there right now.
How far away?
That biggest tree in the middle there.
I can see his tail. He's all the way at the very, very top. Darrell, you got a good shot at him? You want me to shoot at him?
I can just see a little piece of him. He's way up in the top. He moved on me.
Here he comes, he's in this tree above us now. Here we go, he stopped right there. There he goes. The dog just grabbed him. I tell you what, that squirrel was way up there and we got about a 15-mile-an-hour breeze. I had a rough time hitting that squirrel, but we got him and he's on the ground and the dog's got him right now. Let's go up here. Man, he was way up there in the top of that joker on this windy day. It wasn't the first shot, it took us a shot or two, but we got him down. How many do you need to make your biscuits and gravy?
2 or 3, one on hard time.
More gravy and biscuits in. Yeah. Well, here's 2. Hopefully we'll get there.
There's part of one. Looks like it's been there a while. Been a little late for her. Squirrels would really eat heavy on it.
That's a funny looking cow. One I found must have been a doe.
If it was a doe, it'd have been a world record.
Maybe a moose.
Yeah, that's a good one. We got one more little hole over here. Maybe we can get one tree in it.
All right, got a honey hole over here, huh?
I'm hoping. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Right here, above you.
You see him?
Yeah, right here in this tree.
There's another one right there.
2 of them. All right, I got him right up here, Darrell. Go ahead and take a shot if you get one.
Shoot him out.
I got that one. Now, that one's coming down. Now come down about 8 feet. There's another one. You see that one?
All right, hold on.
Nice shot. Your little honey hole, you told me there was a little bowl over here that may hold a squirrel. Look, he sure thinks there's another one. Look at there. In the very, very top of this tree here, we got another squirrel.
Right up there.
That dog is sitting right on it. Let's walk up here and see if we can't get in range and get a shot of this one.
Another one on the ground.
I'll tell you what, your little honey hole just keeps producing squirrels. We're loading up the 2 that we got here, getting ready to leave. The dog would not stop barking up here on this hillside. We were trying to tell him, Dad, Dad. He's looking at us going, no, he's not. There's another one. Darrell, it's been an absolute blast. I appreciate you letting us come out here and hunting with you and hunt with Willie. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
Archery hunting for a turkey can be a serious challenge. And harvesting one with multiple beards, well, that's just icing on the cake. So Peyton Thomas, congratulations.
Thank you.
This fall, you were able to take the state record archery turkey.
Yes.
So how long have you been hunting this bird?
However long I was in the blind that day.
So you had never seen the bird before. You're out there, and you're actually deer hunting, right?
Right. Yeah, I was meat hunting.
So it's in the fall, and you're deer hunting, and you're in your blind, and lo and behold, you see a turkey.
I woke up from a nap, and there was 18 turkeys standing behind me.
Wow.
And just so happened, I saw this turkey was a little bigger than the front one, so I shot it, and ended up having 6 beards and being the state record.
So I have Mike Kelty and Joe Carpenter here with NWTF, and here it is. the new state record archery kill for turkey. What a beautiful mount. I think this was done by Cecil's Taxidermy here in Kentucky. I've hunted turkeys for quite some time. I have no idea how you score one of these. So I know that this thing came up with a score of, what was it, 120?
129.125.
You can look at it and you can tell, well, first off, it's got 6 beards. So you can tell it's a pretty impressive animal, but there's more to it than just beard lengths, right?
Absolutely.
So you could tell it had multiple beards, but you really couldn't tell exactly how much it had?
It looked like it had 2.
And a lot of turkey hunters have seen a turkey that's got multiple beards or may have a split beard, but in this situation, you got a turkey at 20-something yards, you go, wow, that looks like a pretty good sized turkey. You take a shot at it. Did you continue deer hunting?
Yes, I hung my bow back up, knocked another arrow, and sat back in the chair for a while. And I've never actually hit a turkey with a bow. I've shot at them, and it just don't happen.
Tell me a little bit about what you have to do to score a turkey.
First of all, you want to weigh the bird. Get the weight and the ounces of the bird right away. Second, you want to measure the spurs. And when you do that, you want to measure from the scaly skin up to the point of each spur. And you want to do that in decimals. And then you add those two together times 10, and that gives you your score for your spurs. Third, if it's a multiple beard, then you measure each beard, and you start from where the beard joins the skin, and you measure the longest hair in that beard. And if there's only one hair that's longer than the rest of them, you want to measure that one longest hair to get your measurement for each beard.
Have you seen multiple bearded birds on the farm before?
My son's first turkey he shot was a double-bearded turkey.
Okay.
And that was generally same area. I guess it's common around that area.
So then you come out your blind right at dark, you walk up there and you look down and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing's got more than 2 beards. It's actually got 6 beards.
Yeah.
Is that when you started thinking, maybe I've got something here?
It got to sinking in. I was like, you know, I might need to do something about this. Well, my phone was going dead, so I couldn't really contact nobody, so I had to actually leave and drive, and that's when the chase was on to figure out how to score it.
There's one thing you need to know if you're turkey hunting and you got a bird you think might be a state record, is that you don't want to breast that bird out.
No.
Because if you do, you're messing with the weight, which is part of the formula, right?
Right. And I was going to cut into the bird and was actually going to take it to the taxidermist that night and do what I had to do with it, because I was just going to fan it out. But in this case here, I got a hold of Joe and went from there.
Joe, you're measuring here, you're going into where...
You're going all the way to where it protrudes out of the skin, okay? And so this one is 5 7/8 on the first beard.
First beard, you're started up by the neck, and your first beard is 5 7/8, all right?
And then our second beard, we're gonna go right back up in here again, and we're gonna come down, and it looks like it's 5 7/8 also.
5 7/8.
And then we're going to come down, and of course you can see they're getting a little thicker right here. They're a little closer together, but you got to take your finger and kind of reach up in here to separate them out. You can also see the protrusion that comes out of the skin at the base there, and so you can really tell that they're a separate beard by going back by it. Third beard is going to be 5 1/8. Okay, on the third one there, and then we get to the next one here. And this one, needless to say, is longer. And if you'll notice on this one here, one of the hairs, technically feathers, is longer than the others. And it's 7 7/8. All right, and you work your way on down through here and make sure we get them right. And it is 7 1/16. 7 1/16. And our last one here, the big paintbrush. This one right here, we got down 10 7/8.
10 7/8.
Now we'll go to the spurs.
All right, we've got 14 16.
Left spur is 14 16.
Yes.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to the next one here. And look, guys, it's 1 inch, exactly 1 inch.
So now we've got all the measurements we need minus the weight, but because the turkey's already been mounted, we have the weight. Prior to, we have that recorded on a scale.
Yes, we weighed it and took pictures of that to justify
And that weight was 20 pounds and 12 ounces.
20 pounds and 12 ounces. All right, Mike, so we've got all of our measurements.
Yes, and the magic number for this bird was 129.125.
We measured it that night, and that's what got everybody so tore up. Like I said, it's the first one I've ever killed with a bow, and I was more excited that I killed it than knowing what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered if it was a Jake. I was pretty tore up about it.
You know, taking a turkey with a bow, I don't care if it's in the fall and it's a hen, if it's a Jake, whatever, much less a state record, is really a good accomplishment. The good thing for us is this has got me ready to go turkey hunting. You may not get a bird like this. Every bird is a trophy, but a bird like this is truly a bird of a lifetime. Now let's check in and see who's catching what and where in this week's fishing report.
This is Adam Martin with your Western District Fishing Report. Fishing in Kentucky and Barkley Lakes has been somewhat inconsistent lately due to fluctuating water temperatures and also air temperatures. Spider rigging has still been the most effective technique for catching crappie. Once again, minnows have been the most productive bait. You can expect this to improve quite a bit as these water temps heat up and the fish continue to move shallower. Bass fishing has been pretty tough lately. This should also improve as they settle into their pre-spawn patterns. Craw-colored crankbaits and creature baits have performed the best lately. Good luck and good fishing.
Hi, this is Kevin Fry with your Eastern Area Fisheries Report. Some spring-like weather has finally set in this weekend. White bass migrations are good, with fish moving upstream out of Dewey, Fish Trap, and Buckhorn lakes into the streams or rivers entering them. Largemouth bass angling continues to be fair with reports for keeper fish numbers. Crankbaits and shad and crawfish patterns both working well. Early spring muskie fishing has been tough with flooding and continued snow events. However, of late, Dewey Lake has been more stable than Buckhorn Lake, and several 36 to 39-inch fish have been caught at Dewey. These fish were hitting crankbaits cast to shoreline areas of shallow depth. April 5th, tailwater trout stocking started up again for the year. Trout went in that day at Carr Creek and Dewey Lake tailwaters. Looking at the week of April 23rd to finish other trout tailwaters. Also note, occurring this week was channel catfish stocking at Kingdom Come Lake in Harlan County.
This is Jeff Crosby with the Central Fisheries District Fishing Report. Fishing remains slow across the district. However, fishing is expected to pick up over the next several weeks. Increasing temperatures will move largemouth bass into shallow water in preparation for the spawn. The bass can be caught casting jigs, soft plastics around shoreline cover. Additionally, crankbaits, jerkbaits, or chatterbaits can also be an effective bait for catching a few quality bass this time of year. Crappie should be moving into shallow water also as they prepare to spawn. Great time to catch a few of these along the shoreline. Try using live minnows or crappie jigs to catch a few of these fish. Finally, don't forget to check out one of the many fins, ponds, or lake in the district. They have recently been stocked with either rainbow trout or channel catfish. Check out the department's website at fw.ky.gov for further information concerning this program. So grab a pole and enjoy some great spring fishing, and I hope to see you on the water.
By now, every bass fisherman has probably heard of the Alabama rig. Love it or hate it, it's a technique that cannot be ignored. The A-rig, the Alabama rig, the umbrella rig, it got extremely popular 5 or 6 years ago. And now if you're tournament fisherman, you obviously know what it is because you better have one on during most parts of the year.
That is the thing about the Alabama rig is this time of year, and sometimes even in the fall, if you don't have one at least tied on, you are truly at a disadvantage. And that's not necessarily even in the state of Kentucky. That's really anywhere that you have a population of shad in the lake.
That's right. And I'll tell you, it can be intimidating because there's a lot of pieces and parts and everything has to go together to make this work.
There is. You have not just one bait, you have an umbrella rig, you have heads, you have baits, and so everything has to work together. And even then, you can't just throw it on any rod or reel. So there's a lot of different things going on that make a successful Alabama rig setup or one that's not.
This is probably the most important part of it right here. You really want to use 60 to 80 pound braid.
Yeah, 50 to 80, anywhere in there. You're gonna get this hung. It's got 5 hooks on it. I don't know about you, but me, that's a good amount of money tied up in this. I want that braid so I can make sure I can get this back.
Really, this is the first component. As you can see, it's got a way to attach it. It's got some wires. It's got little spinner blades that swim on there. This one has 5. Now, after that, you've got hooks. Obviously, with your hooks, you can have all the different sizes of hooks as well as weights as well.
As far as weights go, just from my personal experience, around here, whether you're fishing from 10 to 20 foot water, this I think you've got 1/8 ounce. That seems to be about the best. It is 1/8 as far as fishing it in varying water depths.
And of course you have your swim baits. These are the 3.8s and they're ribbed. Now you're throwing one that's actually got the slick, no ribs, a smaller profile. So it's all preference.
I will say that it often is best to have different colors on that to give a fish something to isolate on that Alabama rig. And more often than not, I would also put the different colors on the bottom or even the middle, as in that's where they'll tend to bite anyways. But so yeah, vary the colors, absolutely.
And so there's no way that you don't have to put these on there any particular way, up or down or nothing. It's just you
No, that is the one thing I will say is that if you do, or if you are going to vary the colors, you'll see that the Alabama rig is going to run like this to the water column. So we have some varying colors on the bottom. And there you go, that's it.
That's it. So this thing here has probably won more bass tournaments in the last 5 years than any other lure.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
It's probably got more second and third places too. Now, if you're just a weekend fisherman and you want to catch more fish, this is also a great technique. Just give it out there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. It's a great technique, and that's one other thing. There's no really wrong way to fish it. For the most part, it's a chunk and wind. Just a nice, slow, steady retrieve is going to be the ticket.
We'll talk a little bit more about how to cast it once we get out in the water, but I think that's our next step. Let's get this boat in the water and go out there and see what we can't catch on this thing.
Oh, there's one. Smallmouth.
Smallmouth. Nice fish. And let's see what color he hit.
Which one did he hit? Oh, he hit the, well, he's got two. We'll call it the jackal.
Yeah.
Nice, pretty small one.
Very pretty fish. So Drew, what type of year do you like and what type of water conditions do you like to fish the Alabama rig the most?
Ideally, it's going to be February through April, depending on what kind of year we're having this year. It's been kind of unseasonably warm, so we've kind of spring forwarded things forward. There's two things. Water temperature somewhere between 48 and 55 probably is prime for the Alabama rig. And then another thing is, we're down here at Laurel. The first thing we got down here, we're kind of hunting some more stained water. So you don't want crystal clear water, but at the same time, you don't want mud. And this right here is a kind of nice in between. That's prime ingredients to have a really good day of fishing with Alabama rig.
Which one that one hit? Same one?
Same one as the last one.
I may have to put 10 of that same exact bait on mine. We showcased, the line and putting the rig together. Tell me a little bit about the equipment that is best for throwing this technique.
So one part is the reel. I want a reel that I'm not going to trash it by throwing an Alabama rig. So I'm going to buy a reel that can stand up to that. He's foul hooked. And the second thing is having the right rod. Whenever we're loading this up, you need a rod that, one, has a lot of power. You can throw 2 to 5 ounces, but at the same time has a tip to where I can get some accuracy with it. I can lay it softly in the water.
Well, we got about another hour before dark. The big fish ought to come up here and feed in a minute. Let's try to put a big one in the boat. What do you think?
I'm game with that. There's one. Good one, too. Oh, God, what a largemouth.
Big fish.
Bring him this way.
Nice. Look at the belly on that thing.
Oh.
We've been out fishing around, running around and trying to find some stained water, and we thought, you know what? With this evening coming and the sun being down, maybe we can get on the main lake. Look at that belly on that fish.
It's been eating a few shad.
Yeah, it's been eating them 5 at a time, it looks like.
He got more than one of them.
That's a really good fish. So there you go. You talk about A-rig fish, this big piece of wire coming through, a big smart fish won't hit it. There you go. There's a 4-pounder. So if you're looking to catch more fish and you've never tried the Alabama rig, it's a good technique to put in your arsenal. Put that in your tackle box. Make sure you get the right gear to throw it. You might ultimately have some of the best days of fishing your entire life when the conditions are right.
If you can hit that window when the water and the weather and everything is lined up for the Alabama rig, I mean, it will show you amazing things.
Yeah. Now let's see who else is out there having fun as we check out this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here is Dylan Davis of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, who got a really nice 15-point buck in Adair County. Nice job. Here's Andrew Klecker's first deer, taken in Boone County, shot with his .243 rifle. Nice job. Here we have 12-year-old Mackenzie Tyree with a really nice deer, a nice doe taken during the gun season. Congratulations. And here's a nice deer taken with a bow and arrow by Tyler Embry, an 8-pointer that was taken in Bullitt County. Nice job. Here we have a very proud young hunter, Lane Prather, who's 10 years old with his very first deer. Nice job. Bramer Thorsberry has been planning on sending his picture to Kentucky Afield for 3 years, and this year he made it happen. He got his first deer, a button buck, in Grayson County. Nice job. Here's Connor Knight with a nice deer, 11-point buck, that he took during the early muzzleloader season while hunting with his stepfather. Nice job. Well, spring is finally here, and I hope you had a chance to get out this weekend and chase those turkeys. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.